All right, and we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would sit down and do another sorry, I can't even talk. Do another live stream for you lovely guys and gals. So, if you guys would, though, please remember to click like as soon as you get in here. If you get in this video after it's done, drop a comment down below it to get more uh, feed into the algorithm for other people. Also, a reminder, guys, I have 3 coaching slots open right now. You guys know how that works. I have coaching slots. I do full-time coaching for people. You see the results of plenty of my clients. And I also do consultations, 1-hour calls for people who are non-clients who need help with everything from their gear to their training programs. I sit down and write training programs for people all the time in those hour calls. All right, now that spiel is done, Atomic says, good evening, Coach. Good evening to you. Brendan just gave me a W. Hey, I'll take it. That's something, guys. Any advice for staying motivated when injured? Just do the best you can. Get in and train. So if you're injured, you need to get in and work around your injuries. So if you start taking downtime because you were injured, you're pretty much just dooming yourself. Like, that is the worst thing you can do, okay? If your leg is broke, train your other leg. If your leg is broke, train your upper body. If your hand is broke, train the other side. Find stuff you can do with that side. Train your legs. Okay, see how that works? You have a minor slip disc. So you have a minor back issue. Can you train legs on machines? Can you bench press? Can you do pull-ups? You should have no trouble doing any of those things, right? Get in and train. Train your entire upper body. Train your legs. You can do plenty of stuff even with a disc problem. Nothing preventing you from doing that. Get on top of it, bro. What's holding you back? Get in there and get it done, Brendan. Quit pussyfooting around. Come on. Tough love from Coach. If I need to give you a pep talk, I'll do that in a consultation too. Jeff, he probably means a herniated disc. What are some valuable exercises for wrestlers other than squats and deads? Atomic, I mean, the same exercises that are valuable for everyone, plus anything that can help them grapple, anything that helps with grip. I mean, if you're going to get into sport-specific exercises for wrestlers, then you should probably go look at wrestling sites and what wrestling coaches and specialists do. But if you're looking for just what's valuable, building muscle, the same exercises that have every other athlete and lifter, right? Just get jacked, get strong. And notice you didn't say what type of wrestler. There's more than one type of wrestling out there. We want to be specific. But not that it matters for purposes of our conversation. What muscles should we hit to make us look bigger and clothes? Everything, really. I mean, you want the widest shoulders possible, lats. So what type of clothes, Jeff? A t-shirt? Or do you mean a suit? What are you talking about? But if you're just trying to look bigger in clothes, get wider. Like a dress shirt and khakis. So how long are the sleeves? Right? So shorter sleeves, obviously you need some forearm and arms. Oh, long sleeves? Yeah, just get wide. Lats, delts. Lats and delts. Pretty simple. Have you had any conflicts with one of your combat athletes, other coaches? Only boxers in the UK. And it's not a conflict. It's that, well, mate, they make me do this stuff. I don't have a choice. They make you do 500 push-ups and all that in the classes. And so they're not coaches. It's their boxing. If they want to take the boxing classes, they make them do a bunch of ridiculous stuff that interferes with my programming. There's that. But as far as coaches who they are hiring for specialty, never been a conflict. But definitely boxers in the UK, if they go take boxing classes, which has been a bunch of my clients, they have them do a bunch of silly stuff that is interfering with our strength training oftentimes. And it's not like these guys are trying to be pro boxers. All right. Brendan says, thanks, Jason. I will ease back into it tomorrow. Awesome. Sounds like a plan, brother. I've noticed that golden age bodybuilders had similar delt and big chest and arms. Yeah, they had smaller delts. Yep. Why do you think that is, Atomic? Could it be delts have more androgen receptors than a lot of other muscles? So therefore more drugs, more delt growth. Number one. Number two, they didn't shoot their delts. Almost all modern bodybuilders pin the hell out of their delts, including even men's physique competitors. Can you get more athletic on a 250 deficit if you're sure? You can probably gain muscle on a small deficit too. Rack pulls below the knee exploded my back. Do you think it's you're an idiot? Done. All right. Sorry, I thought you meant above the knee. I apologize. I thought you said above the knee. I'm like, I already hate you. All right, but you said below the knee. They explode your back is better than deadlifts for back growth. No, it's not better. They get do a very similar effect, but it's not going to be better. Is it? But that's certainly viable for that situation. But that's not what I would use them for, to be fair. Right, a below the knee rack pull I would usually use for a specific weak point training on a power lifter. Also, is it possible to get that 3D shoulder look as a natural with average? No. What would you recommend? Lots of drugs and better genetics. That 3D shoulder look, you're not going to get on a little bit of test. I'm just going to put it out there. Those are usually pretty hefty gear use. I was going to say most likely less gear, not as many different compounds. Atomic, not just that, it's the site enhancement. Modern bodybuilders all pin the hell out of their delts. What is your workflow like for your daily vlogs? Do you just do the clips in order and voice it over? Anything else? For me, no. No, I just voice it over. I put them in order and run with it. Alan, I hope that's the real Alan, bro of mine. How you doing, bro? I see you down there, but let me get to these other questions. If you're training to failure, do you think you can still make significant strength gains on 4 sets per week per muscle? Yeah. Is Chris Lovato a good source of information across his channel? I haven't talked to Chris in many, many years, so I don't know how he's doing. We used to get along. I've met him in person and everything. I don't know the quality of his information right now, Jeff, so I can't answer that. All right. But yeah, appreciate the donation, Alan. How you doing, bro? By the way, it's not letting me like your thing. I don't know why. Oh well. That's why I'm not a big fan of classic today. Delt's way too big, side enhancement, way too shred. Not sure they call them classic. They're really not. I don't know why they call them classic. I think this is a real. I'm not sure though. Sometimes, how are you doing? Well, we get a lot of fakes of different people in here, Alan. I think Paul Carter said lack of capped delts. Matt, it's not just capped. That's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about that 3D look. But as far as the capped delts go, being round and standing out, sorry, guys, some stuff on my shirt there. Yeah, he is, and I'll agree with that. If you get lean enough and you lift, you'll probably have visible delts even if you don't train them. All right, not directly. There's definitely a degree of truth to that. I had a pretty good squat workout today, 515 for a double, and then just dropped up 415 for 5. I got that 55-pound squat bar, which I'm loving competing in May. Yeah, I have that same bar, Alan. No, I met him at an expo in the UK, Jeff. So like 12 plus years ago, something like that. Is overhead breath worth doing or just side raises for delts? What are you trying to get out of it? It could be worth doing for a lot of people, but you're going to need to be a little specific. Yeah, all good, Alan. I got to go, coach. Just hopping in through 3D look is different. Yep. What's considered a good strength base for a novice? I don't know. I mean, if you're a novice, you don't have a strength base. So it's kind of a useless topic. So if you have a strength base, you're not a novice anymore. See how that works? So what's a good strength base for a novice? Those are conflicting terms. Right? Yeah, Alan. So you have the Texas squat bar then. Yeah, I have that one too. That's what I use today in today's vlog. You can be small and have impressive delts. You just got to have thick arms and back to look like a big guy. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Is Alan one of your best pros? No, we're friends. He's not a best pro though. Jason, would ibuprofen help for muscle swelling? I'm not sure what you're asking me there. Most will never know if they have above average genetics for muscle growth. Even if they do, 3D delts can happen natty with long term. No, we're talking about a certain look with the shoulders, Ted. It's not just about roundness. It's a different look we're talking about. Jason, I've seen guys wide clavicles and narrow waist who get away with having small delts as long as everything else is big. What do you mean get away with? I have the Texas deadlift bar also and the bench bar. Have it. It's not a Texas bar, but it's a very good one. I paid almost $400 for. Yeah, I mean those are all good bars. I have all three of the Texas meat legal ones. Brian, Ted listens just fine. Jason has helped me a lot in the beginning, especially with my form on the deadlift and squat. Yep. Yeah, no, Alan's a good guy. Alan and I've had some good chats over the years. Hey, Jeff, I feel like for some reason you're done digging into this expo and this whole thing and another troll come in. I feel like you guys are just trying to give me some sort of setup. Come on, I don't see anyone else doing Conjugate these days. Have people? No, I know tons of people who do Conjugate. I know tons of coaches who do Conjugate. I know tons of powerlifters who do Conjugate. So what do you mean? What do you mean you don't see anyone doing it? Because some influencers aren't doing it on Instagram? Is that what you mean? You need to go through on social media and start adding different powerlifters and coaches. Just start adding them randomly and you'll see tons of Conjugate stuff. Like I bet you right now, Atomic, if you were to start digging and adding, you'd find at least 100 people who do Conjugate on social media. It's just they don't have 1 million followers. Jeff, yeah, I think they do try to do that. There was a lot of people doing Conjugate, not just for powerlifting, but the training for different. Yeah, Alan's also right. There's tons of people who do Conjugate for all types of sports. It's really popular in a lot of circles. Also, guys, can we get those likes up? There's a whole bunch of you commenting, 40 people watching. There's only 10 likes. Hit that like button for me. Come on now. So it's like, there we go. Thank you. We got at least one more right there. Jeff's side was small. He was, yeah. But I mean, guys, I feel like we've kind of milked that discussion into the guys. Kind of people pointed that out there. Can't believe you bullied an Asian to retirement. I don't know. Did I? Was it me, or did he just ghost on his people because he wasn't making the money he wanted here and could make it on his other platform? I think that's really what it was. He just couldn't get monetized due to his problems on YouTube. Dante Leon, everyone in my band, seriously. Now, I think if you're banned, your own comments won't appear. Jeff said he just made a video about being an incel, kind of ironic, talking about NHF. I don't want to do drama stuff anymore, though. At this point, guys, there's just no point in it. Okay. Again, there's a point where what benefit is there for me to even bash people and pick fights anymore? I mean, I can attack ideas without attacking people. And isn't that really the best way to go with some stuff? Push come to shove, should we be attacking people or should we be attacking ideas? Yeah, there's no money in it though, paper round. You really think I was making a bunch of money off those videos? Not really. I could make a bunch of shorts and make way more money than I made on any of those videos talking about those people and those lives earlier this year. I made some, but it wasn't a lot. Well, I agree with you on that for most people. But I mean, H has made dozens of hours, and that is true. But why do we need to even keep addressing it? I think he's pretty much out of the scene. All right. So who cares anymore? Controversy may be more people to the channel, but they're not going to stay. See, the people who come for controversy are the reason this channel doesn't get 10,000 views per video. If everyone who came for controversy in the past was watching the content, every video I make would get 10,000 views. I can make a video about brown rice and get 10,000 views. So, you see the problem with it? They're only watching that content. How does that really help me in the end? I don't know that it does. Why would you even ask me about coin collecting? Seriously? Is this channel called Jason Blaha's Coin Collecting? All right. Could I still do that thing off the bench? Maybe if I set up that way with an arch and on my toes. John Jones trained with one of the masthetic guys for a while. They had him doing conjugate concurrent layout for his strength training. Yeah, John Jones was doing conjugate for a while. I've never made bullets either, ball torture. Did you see any molten lead on my stuff? Did I have a little forge? Was I melting lead? Come on, guys. No, there's not a big brown spider on my window. No, Brian, you're not banned. Also, though, get those likes up a little bit, guys. Come on, hit that button. Oh, there you go. Get those likes up. Why do you prefer the salt and pepper over the shaved look you used 10 years longer? I like having a beard, and I like the salt and pepper. It's a question of what I like. Are there spiders in Texas? Yes, there are numerous types of spiders in Texas, including poisonous ones. Of course, you could have just looked that up. You could have gone to Google and said, what type of spiders are in Texas? Have you ever been bit by a poisonous spider or snake? Yes, multiple times. Do you know anyone with a spider phobia? I actually have a spider phobia. Due to the above, having had to be treated for a brown recluse and a black widow when younger, I just really dislike spiders. All right. Is jogging bad for you? Is it causes breakdown of the what? No, jogging's not necessarily bad for you. I'm letting the chest and everything grow up for a while. I'm gonna keep taking the back hair and all that off, like some of the arm and leg. But I just feel like, let's go back to a hairy chest for a bit. Why not? It's taking it a bit to grow back out, but it'll get there. No, I didn't need surgery. Let's see. Let's get rid of it. I know, right? I'm going to start getting rid of all this nonsense. So Jeff over here asking this stuff. Let's just get rid of him too. All right. Hey, Testicular, I'll let you go ahead and delete yours. I'm just going to go down the road, get rid of that nonsense. Paper round. That's right. Let's get some fitness content. I'm doing the Novice 2.0 program. Awesome, man. Awesome. Keep it. Yeah, I know. At least some aspect of fitness. Everyone getting. Yeah, man. Because I mean, I'm running fitness stuff here, guys. I just don't care about other stuff on the channel at this point. Like, let's just get rid of the nonsense. Can you give tips on how to mentally prepare to break a record? A lot of that has to do with your training leading into it. I can coach you for that. I don't know why Mike Minzer picked up all of a sudden. It's all over Facebook though, and all these reels, and there's no reason for it. And they're not even talking about his early work that was actually successful. Everyone's obsessed with his later work, which didn't work. It was all garbage. He was going crazy. What's been your favorite lift lately? Honestly, bench press. Because I know I need to really get the bench up, and I know I need to build all that. So the bench is, I've decided to make it my favorite lift. But I have one problem that my local gym is tight, small one. I have on no squat rack, only Smith machine. How do I hit? Go join a different gym. No, I don't always change everything from every workout. Sometimes they stay kind of consistent. I make minor changes. No, everyone doesn't need to do that. It's your current weakness on your bench press. It still feels like triceps right now, at least with the grip I'm using. What's the difference between a novice and an intermediate? The amount of muscle they have, the sort of progression rate they can use. Incline versus reverse grip bench. I think they're both good lifts. So you're asking me to pick between two really good lifts. Well, it depends on what you're doing with it, I guess. Maybe bigger biceps. Maybe in theory, but I don't think it's going to help me that much at this point. I'm going to keep building on them. I'm going to keep doing curls. Maybe need to build up the triceps and get thicker. Well, I'm pushing tricep work pretty hard with progressive overload for full ranges of motion. If you're on a program written by someone, you need to follow it strictly. All right. Jason, do you think a board press is a good variation for improving for a raw bench or not always? I'm going to say for some people for weak point training, but definitely not everybody. If it's not addressing your weak points as a supplemental lift, I'm going to probably go with no. Also, guys, hit that like button. Give me a few more likes. We're going to wind this down here soon, unless we get those supers too extended. Our slingshot's a good raw. No, I'm not a fan of the slingshot, honestly. Is it better to do a peaking block or a peaking week going into a meet? I don't know that you need either. Start doing some maxes. Need a coach just for leg drive? Cannot do it. Nick, I could probably do a consultation without coaching for your leg drive. So Nick, instead of full coaching, if you need to set up a video call, one of my 1 hour calls that I do, we could set one of those up and I could walk you through while you're at the gym, with your AirPods and stuff in, and set up the camera, set up your phone. I could walk you through it and teach you it. Is speed work useless for raw lifters? No. Our barbell complex is good for endurance. I don't know about endurance, but they're good for overall conditioning. What exactly is a taper and a meat prep, and what does it do? I don't buy into all that, so I don't care. What's up, coach? Not a man, just chatting with you guys. Getting ready to wind it down for the night. Jason, you just have a big deadlift. By the way, I think you're way more qualified than most so-called coaches on giving deadlift and squat advice. My lifters get big deadlifts. Peaking is just a point leading up to the meet where you have the orals in. Ooh. How long do you recommend to run your novice 2.0? About 6 months if you're a ranked novice. About 6 months you should grow out of it. Approximately. Ted, I think you're onto something with that point about peaking. Jason, have you heard about the new diet Mark Bell implemented? It's the sugar diet by the snake diet guy. Sounds, oh my God. No, I haven't. Probably crazy though. Why do most top powerlifting coaches use a peaking block and week and taper week? Maybe it's about their drugs. Wait, you're going to try to get leg drive on a Smith machine? I don't know about that, Nick. I mean, I could try to teach you. That could be difficult. Why don't you change gyms? Is there a strength standard that differentiates novice and intermediate? We could argue that. I don't think that it's that straightforward personally. Now we could argue about those strength charts that are relative to body weight and stuff. I mean, we could make the case for that. For me, I see the intermediate as more of they've built a bit of a strength base and they no longer respond to linear progression. Thoughts on Vegan Gains obsession with you? I don't really care. I don't even care. And I don't go watch the lives. I could just care less at this point. He's free to continue to say whatever he wants. I guess it's just free advertising. If you had a Smith machine, would you use it for anything? Yeah, I'd sell it. I'd use it to make some money. I could probably get a pretty good chunk of change for a Smith machine. Just sell it. I'm going to take up space in my garage that I don't have. That's the only purpose of a Smith machine, is to sell it. So the companies that make them, that's the purpose. They make them so they can sell them. I don't know why anyone else has one other than, I guess, their customers want them in the gyms. Or they're scared of free weights. What exactly do you do a few weeks out leading into a powerlifting meet? Depends on if I'm doing conjugate or not. If I'm doing conjugate, we just get a little more specific in the lifts. If I'm not doing conjugate, we just go to more singles. Really all you need to do, just start doing heavy singles. You may have to cut your accessories back just a little. Dave Tate and Westside recommended that you don't, though, other than the final week. Do you think you need every type of bar you own, or some aren't that useful? I have some I don't ever use. Like all my football bars, I have 3 different football bars. I never use them. I have a trap bar. I never use it. Who's on more gear Vegan Gains? I don't know. I don't know, and I don't care. Probably Alpha, but you know. All right, guys, we're closing in. We didn't get enough supers. What were your best numbers on the JM press for reps, floor, or bench? 185 for about 6, I think. Nick, no, you can just reach me on Facebook. So the hour calls are $100. I do a fair number of them, actually. So there's a sticky at the top of the Facebook with all the details for coaching, but that sums it up. And you can reach me through Facebook, because I tend to do calls through Messenger. And if I don't do them through Messenger, I'll do them through Instagram. So the info is all on my social media. All right, guys. So we're 30 minutes in. I'm going to go ahead and wind this down. Well, if you don't want me to go, Roland, you got about 1 minute to drop 4 supers. So hope it's been informative. I love all you guys and gals, and I'll talk to you next time.